live. I
Hello.
love that. I love that Substack just like randomly tell us who doesn't do a countdown and it's just like sometime between 5 seconds and a minute.
Five,
So
six
I'm here with
minutes live.
yeah, I love it. And
The
I'm here
people
with
are
my
here.
good friend. They're all coming in, and we are with my friend, Wheeler Dealer Maggie Beeler. How you doing, buddy?
Hi, I'm good. I actually was just hanging out with Russell in Vegas. Like, was that literally last week?
Yeah.
Oh my God, yeah. Time is like going either like really slow or really fast. I can't really tell. But
Yeah.
yeah.
So I got back from Vegas, got really sick, and then started prepping for a colonoscopy. So
Wow.
this whole last 2 weeks has been wonderful and kind of horrible. It was
Yeah.
amazing at Vegas, and now it's been like this is the
Yeah.
highlight of my week. I'm so
I
glad.
was honestly like so lucky that I did not get the con crud when I came back. I think it's literally because I bought this like vitamin C supplement thing and I took it every day and I'm just like honestly placing all of that on the vitamin C is why I didn't get sick. So yay
Well,
whole food.
so I guzzled a ton of vitamin C when I got back, and my wife was like, it's not how. It's like the only thing that will help you not be sick is reducing your stress. And I was like, I was in Vegas, like
Yeah.
I needed a second. Just let me have this. Like I
Yeah.
got better because of the vitamin C.
Yes. Vitamin C is a superpower. I still am taking it every day. I'm like just doing so much I can't get sick. I'm like I can't. I can't get sick.
Yeah.
Never.
Well, before we get into it, let us introduce you. So, Maggie, I've known you for a long time now, but you started getting into consumables. And do you want to talk a little bit about who you are, what you do, what the heck is a consumable?
Yeah. So I guess I can kind of go back like way back when I started writing my first book when I was 12. I published my first book when I was 21, so 9 years after the fact. Keep writing if you're still working on your first project. It doesn't matter how long it takes as long as you do it. I like to say that. But I published my first book in 2021 and now I have like I don't even know, like, I think 12 published works. I need to, like, actually count them because I have some that I'm, like that I have done, but I haven't published, but whatever. I have a lot of stuff now, and I just recently, last year, published my first cocktail mocktail recipe book called Trope Tales that did really well on Kickstarter, and I also have a bunch of fiction books in the young adult fantasy genre, but Trope Tales has kind of been the thing that I've been developing a lot more recently with my new consumables brand, which consumables CPG. CPG stands for consumable packaged goods or consumer packaged goods, sorry. Kind of same thing. It's basically anything that you are consuming as a customer. So it can be like candy or I mean toothpaste is technically a CPG product, pretty much anything that you're consuming and I released a line of instant powder drink mixes for my cocktail book brand on Kickstarter 2 weeks ago today, actually. Uh,
Amazing.
yeah, that's like kind of like the really quick lowdown, but yeah, I'm all
Yeah.
about whole movement. There's a couple authors that are basically trying to figure out like innovative ways to go quote unquote beyond the book in terms of like what they're offering. So that's what catapulted me into this is like, hey, I have these cocktail recipe books. Like, how can I make this something bigger than just, a book or whatever? So, and also repeatability is a huge key thing with this as well. So, yeah,
That's amazing. Yeah. Do you have any samples? Do you have any packaged good samples on you?
yeah, well, I do. They're actually, I should have grabbed them. They're in my car, but I have samples of them. They're not in the finalized bag. So in the end, they're going to look like very nice and packaged. But right now, I just have like the manufacturer samples that they sent me. I almost am out of them, which is fine because I should have the product in hand in like a month. So,
Amazing. So I was like, wow, Maggie, you're way ahead of the curve on all of this thing. And then as we were talking beforehand, I was like, oh, wait, I've written consumables like 2 years ago. Um,
it's a good.
so, so yeah, consumables for me I did a package. I worked with this company called Onishi Press. and they were doing a Kickstarter for the coffee brand in their world called Starbucks Coffee. It's kind of like Starbucks, but with Cthulhu. And so they worked with three or four other brands. It was me, Tyler James's C is for Cthulhu. I think there was like one or two, one maybe Miskatonic High. It was a couple big Kickstarter brands, but we
Mhm.
all did coffee. And um, I was like, I don't really drink anything but decaf coffee at the time. So now I drink coffee. Now I drink caffeinated coffee again. But I did this one called Cthulhu is Hard to Caffeinate, which was a decaf coffee. And they did, I think someone else did like a chocolate brand. Oh, I think the C for Cthulhu, because it's a kid's book, did like a hot chocolate.
Oh, that's
Yeah, it
cute.
was super fun. And one of the things that writers tend to have is we always have to make the same thing again, right? Like
Hmm.
we always are like, okay, well, even if you make the post, the only thing someone can do next is like read the next post or the next book. Once they have read it once, most people don't tend to go back.
Again, yeah.
Um, yeah, but when you have a consumable, it's the opposite. Like you get someone, and if it's good, they will keep consumingable,
Right.
right?
Yep. Yeah, that's like the whole point of doing this specifically is A, it increases my average order value, and B, it also has like that aspect of repeatability, which is super important.
Yeah. Okay. Now you're gonna have to talk about average order value because come on, guys. These are
Yeah,
authors.
yeah.
You
Well,
gotta go into it.
average order value is something that you really need to think about. I think, I mean, everyone needs to think about it, but especially for direct sales too, because when someone is ordering a book on your website, I mean, I see authors pricing their books at $15, which you should not be doing, by the way. Um, my average order value right now for my cocktail book is like $30. But then with the powder mixes, I can like bundle them, perhaps do like a $50 increase, like $50 average order value would be a lot better than $30. So it's just kind of like
Right.
bundling. Like I can do not only just sell the book now, but I can sell the powder mixes with it or, what you decide to sell with your book that increases the average order value, which is the goal because customer acquisition costs on average is around like $20. So it's like if your average order value is like $30, you're not making that much. So thinking of innovative
Well,
ways to increase that.
right. Well, especially because you have to make the product and ship the product. So,
Yep,
like,
exactly.
yes, you can charge shipping afterwards and tax afterwards, but like if it's $30 and a book costs $6 to get to you and
Right.
$10 to ship and the consume so like you it's this world of like once you get someone in your ecosystem you want to keep them in your ecosystem and
Yep.
you want them to spend money in your ecosystem and you want that person to love your brand so much they talk to
Exactly.
other people about it.
Yes. Yes.
So
Water break.
this is really interesting for Substack because Substack is a platform that is built on subscriptions. And people are always, as writers, saying, how do I get people to buy my writing? And often I'm telling people, you don't have to do that. You don't have to, and this is one way. Like I've never actually had someone come on alive and be like, well, here is a way. Someone could buy consumables for me every month
No.
forever and never.
Yeah, like, you can make a subscription model with that too, which is something that I haven't explored, like, right now, but I will be, like, adding that, like, you can do subscription-based thing, like, if someone wanted to, like, buy your coffee every I don't know, like, every quarter, then it's like you set up a subscription model, it's like, "Hey, you pay this one fee upfront, and then I will send you a new bag every 3 or 4 months," whatever.
Right. I mean, this is the Amazon model for subscribe and save, right? Like every X amount of months I get pills. Like I have to take 1 billion pills every day, just like because I'm 40 and the older I get, the more pills I have to take.
Yeah.
And so every time, so it's like, yes, I love this weird doll, but I bought it one time ever.
Right.
And this pill may have cost the same amount for the first time I bought it, but every time I consumable it, I have to get no more.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So can you take us through, hey, why did you pick? Well, tell us about the Trope Tales brand because I
Yeah.
think it's really interesting. Like I knew you as like this like very peppy YA fantasy author, and
Yes.
then one day you had this
Yeah.
whole other world. So can you talk about trope tales,
Yeah.
and then how you thought about consumables? And it's a really interesting story how you actually got to this point. So can you just take us
Yeah.
through actually how
Yeah.
that went?
So yeah, I started in YA fantasy and I still do YA fantasy. I'm not abandoning that because that's sort of like my passion, like my love. It's my escape. And yeah, so way back in COVID 2020, I was in college living with a couple roommates and I was making cocktails pretty often and I would have them sample it, have my friends sample them. I had a lot of parties like at my apartment in Cincinnati too, where I would just have people try cocktails or over the years have people try them and just compile recipes. And my mom was always into like cocktails and stuff and making like unique drinks or having me try unique drinks. So I was always like kind of like messing around with cocktails and I was a big fan of cocktails. And one of the times I was driving back and forth from my hometown in well, I say Chicago, but really like an hour outside of Chicago, but whatever, for the sake of simplicity. I was driving back from Cincinnati to Chicago and I get a lot of my ideas in the car and I just kind of thought like one day I was like, okay, well I really like reading, I really like books, I really like cocktails, like how can I kind of like combine these two weird like not weird interests, but like how can I combine them into something fun? And I was thinking like along the lines of Kickstarter too, because I do a lot of like I actually do like all my releases on Kickstarter now just because I love the platform and the people on it. And I was thinking like, okay, what could be like a fun like I was at the time thinking it would be like a one-off thing. Um so then I thought like, okay, well, books and drinks, like trope tales. I just like it was such a random thing that popped into my head, but then I started really thinking about it and I was like, oh my gosh, like, at first I was gonna do, like, cocktails based on, like, popular franchises like Harry Potter, The Throne of Glass, whatever, but then I was like, "No, that's dumb," like, that would just be so much work, I'd have to get, approval to license stuff, whatever, so then I started thinking like, "Okay, well, tropes, like, all these tropes, there's so many tropes in different genres, like, why not just make a bunch of different recipes based on all these, like, popular tropes?" So then I started compiling things and, like, mixing like, putting cocktails with tropes, like, basing them on, like, the vibes that I got. It got, like, super, like, weird. I was, like, thinking, like, how can I like, what cocktail would go with, like, this trope? And, like, for, like, spicy romance, for example, I would be like, "Okay, well, it needs to be a spicy drink. Let me look at all these cocktails that I've compiled over the years. Like, which one would go with this?" Or, like, I like to give the example of, like, EMP strike. That's, like, when all, like, electricity in the world is cut out. That's gonna be a strong drink, probably something that has a lot of alcohol in it because it will lights out, whatever. So it became, like, a weird sort of, like, fun process, and it took me about a year to put that together, and I actually ran the campaign, like, 3 days before I got laid off my corporate job, and that one actually helped me pay rent for a couple months, so that was, like, really awesome and fun to see, like, the creative work pay off in that aspect, but then this year, I was kind of, like, listening to my audience a bit, like, the feedback that I was getting on the campaign was, "We love cocktails, we love cocktail books." This is funny, I found out that most people who buy cocktail books aren't actually, like, using them to make cocktails, they're more, like, having them as, like, a centerpiece in their apartment, like, kind of like a coffee table book. It's, like, just
Sure.
fetching, fun to flip through, but people aren't actually, like well, not people in my sense, this is the feedback I was getting from my readers, is like, "This is super fun, but we're not really, like, making cocktails like this because we don't wanna go out and buy all these ingredients to use them one time for a drink." So I had that little tidbit of knowledge, and I got together with one of my good friends, Michael Evans, who you probably know, and we were just, like, shooting the shit and, like, talking about, like, ways for people to go beyond the book, and we started talking about, like, trope tales, and I was like, well, I'm trying to think of a way to do this, like, make it easier for people to access mixology. And while we were talking, I had the idea of like, oh my God, like let's instant powder drink mixes. Like, how do I do this? This is like the idea. And Michael was like, yes, like, oh my God, do it. Like, this is great. So then like we just had this moment and I just started going, like, full in on it because I was like, "This is exactly what my audience is asking for." And it solves the problem of the average order value being low because they're buying 1 cocktail book and then they're done, unless they come back and buy it for a friend, which I do see people doing often actually on my website. Um, so then, yeah, it solved the problem of average order value and repeatability. And yeah, then I went like full in on developing this brand. I actually had a little bit of like, I don't want to say a leg up because like anyone can do this. I'm no exception. But I had the experience of working in manufacturing for the past 3 years. So I knew like what kind of like places to target for something like this because powder mixes actually happened to be in one of the verticals that I was selling in my past job. So I like knew some names to start with in terms of like reaching out to people and also like roles of people in manufacturing that you'd want to talk to for this kind of thing. R&D, by the way, like that kind of department. And yeah, I just started like reaching out to a bunch of manufacturers across the country. I probably reached out to like, I don't even know, like 80 to 100 different manufacturers over the course of like January to March and just like set up calls with people. It was like back to back to back calls. It was all I was doing after work because at the time I was working in a day job, which I'm not working in anymore because it was just not where I wanted to be. And yeah, I started setting up all these calls with manufacturers, kind of trying to like understand the industry. In the beginning, I had literally, other than like the knowledge that I had gathered from my experience in manufacturing, which was not a lot really, because I wasn't doing powder specifically. I was more automotive. But anyway, whatever. Um, just started learning the industry, asking a bunch of questions, kind of like figuring out how to do it, because that's always the first step, is asking a bunch of questions and understanding the industry. I had no knowledge other than the tiny bit I had from my experience before I came in, and now I know a bunch of stuff. So like anyone can do this, anyone can start doing it. You just have to like, I don't know, start asking questions and start trying to understand the industry more. And then the more you learn, like you could get here. I got here in a year. So it's like completely doable for anyone else to just like start asking questions and figuring it out. I think now is like the best time for any creator to do this type of thing because the doors are just wide open. You could go to any manufacturer and be like, hey, do you guys do, you know, small runs of custom projects? And then just have a conversation with them. And there's like a million manufacturers out there that are going to be able to like help you. So you just find the right one. I even went through a failed partnership with a manufacturer, but that opened a better door for me. So it's just, there's so much to like unpack in that space.
Sure.
It's
Well,
so
I'm going to be like Maggie. How are we doing a project together? I'm not going
yeah,
to do any of those things. I'm just going to come straight to you. But
it's
like,
so fun. I love it. I honestly like the contacting the manufacturers and like learning all that stuff and like it was just so insightful and just like there's just so many options and like obviously never go for the first offer either because I had a company that was like, yeah, we'll work with you on a formula and we'll do this for like 20 grand is like standard minimum. And I was like, hell no, like no. And you can always find another way around. Like I just 20 grand a new like startup person is just like a lot. So I
yeah,
obviously found a different way and I have a better manufacturer now, but there's just so many options and so many different ways to go about it. It's
yeah.
very
So I want to. So this is great. This is a great overview.
yeah.
But what I want to pull out for people who are listening is I have a new publication called The Frictionless Growth Challenge. And the idea behind my new book on being happy and a successful writer at the same time
I won that one.
is um well, you get it for free for signing up at frictionlessgrowth.com. You get
There you
a
go.
copy of the ebook. But like the idea is that we think that success brings joy, but joy brings success. And like what it seems like you did was be like, I'm writing fiction. I have all of these friends who are also authors who want things, and I enjoy hanging out with them, and I enjoy making cocktails. Like it just like seems like these just all connected together
Yeah.
from things that brought you joy. And
Yeah.
like that campaign for the trope tales, I mean, I think was it like $14,000? Like it was
Yeah, it
a
was a
decent, it was a good sized campaign, right?
yeah. Yeah. It
And
was like right around there, yeah.
yeah. And it like came from just like joyful things that people wanted. Like it
Yeah.
doesn't sound like you were like, I
Yeah.
have to go create a social media account for this thing. It was doing things that like brought you joy.
Yep.
And then you took another thing that brought you joy, which was like working with consumables and doing
Yep.
these things that you enjoyed doing. And you were like, I could probably go learn about this stuff. And instead of being like, I have to go learn about, I don't know, how to scale I'm going to keep picking
Yep.
on social media account to a million
No,
things
it is.
that
Yeah.
in reality, you were like, I want to learn about this thing that I like and know a little bit about and become an expert on. And it just were these connections that kept forming that you were able to build and build naturally. So that's
Yeah.
right.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, like, I feel like when you're excited about something too, it's way more easy to market, like,
Right.
and yeah, it was just something that was also a passion. And then, yeah, everything you said was very accurate.
Yeah, I mean, and I know from hanging out with you a bunch at Author Nation that it's like
Yeah.
you love Kickstarter and
Yep.
you're filling all your bucket with like
Yes.
things you love,
Yep.
not and like granted, you don't love every minute of every day. You talked about a bunch of stuff you didn't like while
Yes.
you were through this process, but
Yes.
like you're not I don't know, dressing up as Snoopy on a street corner because you don't like
Yeah.
that part.
No.
You like you were
Right.
talking about I actually enjoy trying to increase order value. So like the things that you had
Yeah.
that had value came naturally.
Yeah. Well, and just like building on what you already have that's working too. It's like the easiest way to like go about it. It's like, okay, well, clearly the Trope Tales brand was working and there was interest. So it only made sense to be like, okay, how can I like develop this further? And then, satisfy a different audience. Cause there's like the books are obviously like the core audience, but then like the powder mixes are a completely new audience in a sense because
Right.
you can capture people who are interested in just like drink mixes and cocktails and then like bring them in, be like, I not only have the powder mixes, but I also have these like books in the brand too. And then, oh, if you like books like that too, like I also have young adult fantasy books. And like, the powder mixes can also be like genre specific too. Cause it's like, oh, you like the fantasy powder mix. Well, these are fantasy books you can read with it. It's just like kind of like all encompassing and like bringing the brand almost like full circle.
Right. Well, then on top of that, you can be like, okay, Russell, you want to do a consumable product. Like, I can help you with that. I enjoy doing that. Like, do we
Mhm.
do that as a partnership together? Do we do this as I'm just contracting out to you and like helping you do this
Yep.
thing and making money? Like, it's just like it's this natural value
Yep.
ladder that ascends and allows you to do this stuff. And we spend so much time being like, oh, look at this. I actually wrote this today. Like, people are always talking about breaking through brick walls, right? But, like, how often do we break through brick walls in our actual daily life?
Yep.
Like, when we go to a wall we don't find a sledgehammer, we like
Right.
find a door or
Right.
like, alley or some way around that
Right.
thing or through it. We
Right.
knock somewhere, we call somebody. Like, we're not sledgehammering stuff, but like in our business, we're supposed to be doing that.
Yeah.
All right. So somebody asked oh God, see, this is why it's so annoying.
Yeah.
How do you source your powders?
Yeah. So I have a manufacturer in New Jersey that I found. I think maybe I was talking about that a little bit, but yeah, I have a manufacturer that I formulated the flavor with, and they are doing the production for me there in New Jersey. I wanted to make sure that everything was made in the US, aside from the bags, which I'm getting overseas, but that doesn't impact anything like of the product itself. It's just the packaging. But yeah, I've settled on a manufacturer in New Jersey that I worked with to formulate that. And that essentially looked like, me sending them flavor profiles that I wanted, specific flavor profiles, that I kind of like formulated around like which spirit I would think would go well in them. Cause they are NA until you add, a shot of whatever you want in them. So I formulated it with them and they sent me samples and I sent them feedback and then I approved the samples and then we're good to go. And yeah, they will not do fulfillment for me. This is what he just asked. He said, does the manufacturer also do fulfillment? No, they will fill the bags for me and send me the completed product and I will do fulfillment myself.
Yes, but you can also, it used to be even when I did the small consumables thing that I did, it was very hard to find somebody that would warehouse low run
Yeah.
stuff.
Yep.
And now there was ShipBob, and it was still a nightmare to use ShipBob. And there were a couple of ones that would do small things, but now, I could give you five people in the book world that
Yeah.
will do small run fulfillment that you could ship straight from straight from your manufacturer there. And
Yep. Okay.
have they done a consumables thing before? I don't know, probably not, but it's shipping and packing.
Right.
It's
Not,
not like,
not
you know,
right.
these are not pharmaceuticals.
Yeah.
You're probably they're prepackaged. And especially if you're going to do let's say you do a Shopify store or you do a Kickstarter, you're going to probably have a book and consumables together. So, and then if you definitely want to take that into a Shopify store, at some point you're going to want to untether that from you, I assume.
Yeah, yeah, that is definitely the plan, and it is something I'm thinking about right now because my initial order of the powders will be around 1,500 units, so I don't know how that's going to work with my less than 700 square foot apartment, so we will see. But I'm always on the page of I'm gonna figure it out. It's gonna work out. We'll be okay. It's
Sure.
gonna be okay.
Well,
I
I have a guy and a girl who can help you do
Yeah,
that.
I also have a guy who said he would be happy to house some of the powders in his warehouse. So I'm not worried about it, but I probably will. I yeah, I might have yeah, I don't know. It's gonna be interesting. I'm gonna have to decide that pretty soon. It's
I
it's on the list of things to do. It's okay, where are we gonna send 1,500 powder bags to? Because I
yeah.
had
Well,
500 books in my apartment one time, and that took up space. That's for sure.
yeah, I think that probably 1,500 packets of powder is less than 500 bucks, but
Well, no,
I don't.
the books were this thin because they were the cocktail books. So they were only
Gotcha.
125 pages, etc. So yeah, I don't know. And the bags are about 10 ounces, so they're probably about the size of your standard coffee bag. So they're yeah, I don't know. I think yeah,
Yeah.
it's a problem for a couple days from now.
Sure, sure. All right. So, do you subscribe to USPS mailing service or something, or Topa Toko?
No,
I don't know what
I
that one is.
I just use Pirate Ship for everything, and honestly, the Pirate Ship is pretty affordable for shipping.
Same.
Like, I think, yeah, my bag is 10 ounces, and it was giving me a quote of $8, $7, $8 to ship, which is honestly not that bad in my opinion. So,
Yeah, I mean, and if you do not that you can ship international, I don't know the international rules for these things, but if you enable their simple export rate, you can
yeah,
even ship stuff internationally.
yeah,
So,
yeah. I only have a couple international backers right now, so I'm not too worried about that. But yeah, that's definitely I need to look into the laws and stuff on how to ship those. But since it doesn't have any alcohol in it, and it's just regular. It's just powder, so I don't think it
sure.
should be. I haven't seen anything online that's causing concern for me yet with that. So, and I only have a couple. Most of my backers on my campaign, and most of the people who are buying my stuff in general, are in the U.S. So,
Yeah.
until
So,
influx of European buyers, then it's okay. Well, we should probably look into how to make this more affordable.
well, can we talk about the money part, speaking of affordability, for a minute? Because I'm sure a lot of people are 1,500 units. This is going to cost me a fortune. But I was shocked at how reasonable doing something like this is if you have the right manufacturer and the right thing. And I don't
Yeah.
think you have a Kickstarter right now. So relatively easy to figure out what your overall cost
Yeah.
for this product is. But can you go a little bit
Yeah.
more
Yeah.
into that?
Well, and he just asked what the weight is. The weight is it's 10 ounces. So yeah, 10 ounces is not that heavy of a thing. And yes, I
10
did. He asked if I chose powder over liquid for weight considerations. Yes, but also shipping liquid, you have a lot more restraints in what you can do. So definitely I chose powder because of that for sure. And weight, yeah, both of those in combination. But in terms of pricing, yeah, I mean definitely negotiated a lot with my manufacturer. I built a relationship with them first over the months. So I started talking to them in, I think it was like February or March. So I've been talking to them for a while, like almost a year. And I know like my person point of contact there pretty well now. So I was able to kind of like be real with them about the expectations, be like, "Hey, I'm just starting out, like, I really want to, like, have a solid shot at this industry, but I really can't, like, afford to be spending, like or, like, getting, like, hundreds of thousands of units as an MOQ, like, that's just not feasible for someone getting into the industry."
Minimum order quantity.
Yeah, minimum order sorry, MOQ. Um, yeah, that's definitely a term you should be familiar with if you're going to start talking to manufacturers, because that's all they'll wanna know about. It's you need to know that. Um, but yeah, I negotiated a lot with them and I got my bag price down to around like $5 a bag, like all in with the bag and the powder. And we have to, I need to ask them about the shipping, but I can't imagine the shipping is going to like raise it by that much from them to me. And honestly, if it's like an insane amount, I would be willing to like drive out there and get them myself. So, but yeah,
Sure.
I got a pretty good deal on them, but that's how that's why I negotiated. You can always negotiate with retailers or sorry, not retailers, manufacturers or retailers too, actually, I guess, whatever. You can negotiate with anyone. Like nothing that they give you is a final number, which is what I would say. I would
Right.
always like, you know, always negotiate. Like never take the initial number that anyone gives you. That's like and if you want to read a really good book on negotiating, I would recommend reading the book called Never Split the Difference. It's very,
Yep.
very, very good.
He also has a very good master class on masterclass if you take a
Probably.
master class. He
Yeah,
does. I've taken it. It's great.
I need to see that. I haven't seen it yet. I really like his book, so I've read it a couple times. Yeah, that's a good
Yeah.
one. It's all over that.
So
Again, it's been a while. I read it in my sales classes in college.
what I would say is having worked with manufacturers a lot, but not in consumables, is like they're interested in what the relationship looks like in like 2 years.
Yep,
Like
exactly.
they do not care about this order. Like they might be losing money on this order for all
Yep,
I know because they're like, okay, like what am I like this person seems okay, so I at Author Nation, my friend was like, VC is not about the thing you think. It's not about the product, it's about the story you tell. And
yep,
so like working with manufacturers is often the same way. Like they're like, okay, who are you? What are you trying to do? Is it achievable? Like, and what are the downstream consequences of doing this thing? So like
mhm,
they're saying I need $20,000 because they're like, well, who are you? You're no, I don't have any faith that you're going to ever order from me again. So I have
yep,
to actually get like this thing. But if you can convince them that they are like, you have other people who could do consumables
yep,
with you, you have like an order chain, you've already had success with this brand
yes,
before, all
yes,
of that stuff.
that's a big one.
Yeah. So, like, I assume all of these things were things that you were talking about
Yep,
with these people to get them
exactly.
to like lower.
Yeah, you kinda have to sell them on the vision a little bit. And yeah, it did help that I had the Kickstarter campaign for the cocktail book to show them as well, so they, like, knew kind of, like, the vision of what I was going for. And
Well, and
then
you sold consumables before,
yeah,
just not these consumables, right?
yeah. I mean, not necessarily, like, me. Like, I worked in manufacturing, so I could, like, talk a
Right.
little like, they knew that I wasn't just whatever. But yeah, I mean, it really was just like selling a vision. It's like I'm planning on doing this. Like I and also like having confidence too. Like I was very on the phone with them like I'm going to do this like one way or another. I will be doing this like period.
Right.
And it was very like either you're with me or you're not with me. I will find another way to do this because I'm stubborn as hell and like I think they kind of like that mentality a little bit. It's like you're basically gung ho on making this work. And if it works, like Russell said, then they also benefit from it too, because I'm going to be coming back. And it's in their best interest to, like, make the product as best as they can for me, because then I'm going to be coming back and getting more. And, like, that kind of stuff. But yeah, like you're really selling the vision, honestly.
Yeah.
When you
And
when you don't,
expanding your own brand. Like
yeah,
you'll be putting new things out, like all
exactly.
of this stuff. And manufacturers have to do this. Like this is how like they have to find new like usually they have like some stalwart clients, but like to get their next stalwart clients, like there's
Yeah,
only so much that they can do with like brands that already exist. They have to like take some
fine.
moonshots.
Yeah, exactly. And they are like, I mean, they're willing to work with you. Like you're giving them money. It's a transaction, not like you're purely benefiting from a relationship either. Like it's
Right.
transactional purely. So they're winning from it too.
Right.
But
Well,
yeah,
and like they are like, especially like you may not get a deal from the number one manufacturer, like the number one in market manufacturer, but if you just go down a list,
uh,
someone is going to be hungry to move up.
right. Well,
Always. Like this is the one thing about capitalism that I can tell you for sure. There is always someone who wants to move up who is better than their position on the in the ring.
yeah. Yeah. And I would say like kind of on topic, but kind of off topic, like a good way to like start looking at manufacturers in like something that you want to make is literally like look at the back of your favorite product in that category and literally like every single product you have has at the bottom of the bag in like very small lettering like where it was made. They have to. Um, so you can just go and, like, look at all your favorite brands and, like, see where they're made and just kind of, like, do research into those companies. It was actually an exercise I had to do in my previous manufacturing job because to find, like, clients is like, okay, well, just go look, I have to target, like, a bunch of whatever, like, bakery good companies. Like, I'm gonna just go to the grocery store, take a bunch of boxes off the shelf, and, like, look at all these different manufacturers and reach out to them. Like, that's the easiest way to do it, or I mean, you can
So
Google.
this one is made in Mexico, so they don't but they have to have their distributor at least
Yeah,
listed
but if you
there.
look up the distributor, then you can look up, like, which
Right,
brand they're representing, and you can kind of, like,
right.
piece it apart. That's a little bit of, like, a back end way of doing it. Those are gonna be, like, huge manufacturers, though, um,
And
but
so I mean, so it's not to say that like the big manufacturers stay the big manufacturers by continually having new things that they
yeah,
manufacture. So like it's just harder to get to those people, but
yeah,
sometimes it's easier to get the biggest one to say yes when you get to the right person because they're like, whatever, we make a fortune. Like
right,
what is this, $5,000? But like if you can sell them, then like you like
right,
they have more margin of safety already, so they
right,
can make more gambles. But they also are more protected because every Yahoo is trying to get
yes.
this to pitch them.
I'm just moving because my phone is dying. That wouldn't be
Oh,
good.
so I got Mineragua. It's one of the brands in LA for mineral water.
To go.
Um, so uh, so yeah, like I mean, I love all of these things because like it's so knowable. It's
Yeah,
like, and people don't know that it's knowable, but like literally every person could pick up every product that they use every day and
yep,
make a list and be like, well, these five are made, my five favorite ones are all made by the same. And like what you will find is
yep,
often all
yes.
of your favorites are made by the same manufacturer.
White labeling, yep, it's very, very, very common.
Yeah, absolutely. And so let's we're as we move into the arrow and narrow this down, I want to give people some ideas for like how they can do this for a brand.
Yeah,
So, um I I took my most popular brand and then somebody was like, I want to make a coffee of it. You seem to have taken your most popular brand and been like, I want to expand out into this consumable market.
yeah,
So, like, could you just like, do you have any ideas offhand for like where a writer should like what kind of stuff is even possible? We've covered coffee and alcohol slash like
yeah,
drink mixes, but like, what else could you do?
yeah, I mean, you could pretty much do anything. I think there's some room for, like, a cozy writer to do, like, some sort of, like, cake mix or, like, cupcake mix. You see all these like cozy fantasy stories about like bakeries or like the cozy romances about like all these bakeries. I'd love to see an author do that. I'd love to see an author. I mean,
Oh,
even out,
tea.
I would
I
just
did a bunch of tea. Yeah.
do tea. Tea's a good one. Um, I mean, the doors are just wide open in this space. I feel like you could honestly do anything, and you could also do like outside of consumables. You could do like a card game, like a TTRPG or like any sort of like that thing, like for fantasy, I feel like works really well. Card games, tarot cards. Um, there's just so many different ways you can go beyond the book. I feel like romance could do a lot. Um,
Yeah,
you know,
so my friend Melissa is doing this like tarot for writers, and it's based on the fact that she would sit at, it's actually, she came to our conference and did like tarot readings for people like all evening. And she's like, there's got to be something here. She goes to other shows, and that's what she like, she spends a lot of time doing tarot. And she's like, there's probably something here. I'm
yeah,
going to make a tarot book for writers, and then I will create a tarot deck for
yeah,
writers also.
yeah, yeah. I love the idea of a tarot card deck, but yeah, I mean, like, if you're going for repeatability, it's probably gonna be in, like, the consumable space. But, I mean, yeah, like, tarot cards and card decks I also love just because it does build the brand more.
Yeah.
I just think more authors probably if the like, I think the next, like, step in the publishing space is, like, really going beyond the book and, like, developing the brand further and, like,
Yeah.
finding ways that, like, make sense for your genre. Like, for me, the drink mixes just made so much sense because it's, like,
Right.
a cocktail book, like, that's just, like that makes so much sense. But, like,
Right.
for my fantasy book, I mean, I've done this before because I have a fantasy tavern book. I've done, like, beer collabs with local distilleries, like, they've distilled or brewed, sorry, they've not even local distilleries, yeah, local breweries. I've done collabs with local breweries. I've also done collabs
Mm.
with local distilleries, but I've done beer collabs with breweries where they've made beers based on my books, and that's, like, a fun collab you can do, but, you know, that's, like, a one-time, like, one-off thing. Um
Yeah. But like it's like you just go into your cabinet and pretty much any of those things are fair game. Like there's hot sauces. There
Oh, yeah, you could
are
fine, that'd be
like
fun.
yeah, like barbecue sauces is a big one. I see we talked about tea, but like any like if you have a world, like some things are not easily to like a sci-fi world doesn't necessarily have like an easy consumable like there's not like a tavern in a sci-fi
Right,
world often.
but you could do freeze-dried food for sci-fi. I feel like that goes
Or
you could do, like, you make your own, like, freeze-dried whatever snack that goes along with your book and, like, maybe
oh
just,
yeah,
like
like freeze-dried strawberries or something, or
yeah,
like the what is the thing they do with the where they put the is it freeze-dried like air dried whatever the thing is that
yeah,
like anyway someone knows what I'm talking about,
yeah,
right?
like, you get you really have to kind of, like, think outside of the box about what you're doing.
Yeah,
Um,
or like, do you have an inside joke with your readers or your
yeah,
fans or
that
your friends?
yeah,
Like, you like, is it jerky? Like
could
whatever. Like, I don't know. Like, yes, there's ice cream thing. Like, some of these things are harder to ship than others, but
mm,
like popsicles or uh Go-Gurt things.
yeah,
Um, but yeah, it's a really interesting time to be around, and I want to make sure I do highlight this before we get out of here, which is like your thing is in New Jersey. It's not in Sri Lanka.
yeah,
It's not in Cambodia. It's not in Botswana. It's in New Jersey. So like you
yeah,
were able to do all of this and keep costs down and still get America made.
yeah, yeah, I mean, there's tons of manufacturers in the US, like, literally thousands. I'm pretty sure there's, like, even a database of them out there. But I just started by searching powder manufacturers, and you'd be shocked how many there are, but you have to have conversations with them and figure out which one works best for you. I mean, you could even literally create, like, I don't know, like matcha tea. There were so many matcha manufacturers out there. Matcha's powder too. Um,
Right.
yeah, you just
Yeah.
start researching and start looking into it because I promise you, you will go down a massive rabbit hole and learn way too much stuff about an industry, but it's all fun and yeah.
Yeah. So there's a couple of ones that I just have on my desk because people are actually talking about durable goods, it looks like in the comments. So
Oh,
like
yeah.
poker chip that we did for this our podcast, the six-figure author experiment. Like set of poker chips, like challenge coins. These are challenge coins from the Obsidian Spindle saga. Like my friend does them for all of his books that come out.
Yeah.
Um, let's see what else is on my desk right now. Oh, there's this like laser engraved carving that I got at Emerald City Comic Con one year. Like I've got like I'm trying to find one of my pins that isn't like pinned to my thing, but like cheese, I see. I see like I'm just gonna take this off because there's like
Yeah,
so many. So like there's let's see, can you see like these little thingies here? Like, oh, these are pins for my books. Those are pretty easy ones if you like are a pin person. Like um oh, here's this is Liquid Luck that I got when I was in Paris. So like all of these little things, every single one of them, literally everything on this table is a durable good that has to be made.
Mhm.
And everything in your pantry is a consumable good that is the advantage of a consumable good over a durable good
Yeah.
is that people have to keep buying it over and over if they like it. The
Mhm.
negative is that you have to keep making it
Yeah.
forever and ever as long as you want to
You
keep
could
selling it.
you could even, like, think about, like, colognes or perfumes too for, like,
Right.
romance. A romance author could easily do, like, a sensual perfume line or something like that'd be awesome.
Sure.
Well, just look at every single, like, music artist, like, what are they doing? They are the
Right.
masters at their thing. There's, like, all these different perfume lines for these artists. They have liquor lines. They have I mean, like, just
Yeah.
look at them. They're doing killing with it, and I think our industry is, like, lacking in that department a little bit, just, like, going beyond core audience to capture new people. How can you do
Yeah.
that? The
My
musicians core au
friend,
their listeners, but then I buy Ariana Grande's perfume because it smells good, and then I'm like, "Okay, well, I also like her music now, I guess, too, because I like her perfume." Like, that's a great example of that too.
yeah, my friend did
Makeup.
lipstick or
Yeah.
rouge or like one thing. Like there's probably something that you love that you don't like maybe your audience also loves
Yeah.
that you could make. And then some percent of them would buy it from you,
Yep.
and that would be a consumable that
Yep.
then suddenly you have a subscription.
Yeah, because lipstick, perfume, and all those things are also part of the CPG category as well, and that's also something that has repeatability. Like, if someone really likes a lipstick, they're gonna buy it again. I think a romance author I mean, there's just so many things you can do with, like, the romance genre in general, like, some that are, like, inappropriate probably to say on the camera, like,
Yeah.
"Oh
I
my
see
god,
chocolate. I see chocolate too down there. It looks like someone said
chocolate you
chocolate.
do?"
So like yeah, like all of I would say think of things that can be easily shipped. Like
Yeah.
around without like melting or cracking open or
Yep.
something for your first thing. Like lipstick is good because it comes in a nice thick case and
Yep.
it's very small. So
Yeah.
like, chocolate may be something that you have to like source multiple things from. And like, do you want fair trade coffee? Do you want not fair trade coffee? So like
Yeah.
there's also but like you could make a chocolate of the month club also. Like you can make a like you could write a series with a thing that you were also going to make a consumable of.
Yep.
And then just do that. And every time you release a book, you have another entry into the consumable market. As someone who's
Mm.
made a lot of outside of book things, over time, you just have a lot of them. I have made like so many pins now and so much like merchandising. I did not expect to be an expert on, but I think like as you make
Hmm.
like one, you become an expert on that thing, and then
Yep.
eventually you can become a category expert, right?
Yeah. Yeah. And I
Yeah.
think experiment, like I don't also like pull your readers too. Like listen to your audience and like what are they saying they want? Because it might
Yeah.
not necessarily be explicit, but like if you really like read like what I was saying with my readers, it was like they love the cocktail books, but they're not making every cocktail because they don't have all the ingredients and they don't want to house them. So it's like, okay, they're not telling me explicitly they want instant powder drink mixes, but you read between the lines, they want like easy access to making drinks. They don't want to hold all this
Right.
in. So then the powder mixes is like a seamless solution to that was implicitly told by me by my audience. So like your audience is telling you things all the time. You just have to like listen to it and read between the lines and you can really figure
Right.
out kind of what to do next based on what they're saying because they're always talking to you. You just have to listen.
Right. Yeah, exactly. And they are, and also like you could ask them too.
Mhm.
Like you could interview that you find your five biggest people and be like, what brands do you
Yep.
swear by?
Yep.
Like, what products do you swear by? And like, if eight of them say the same thing, I don't know, there's probably something there. And you could say, what product do you wish was better?
Mhm. Yeah,
Like,
I
oh,
actually out to my like Russell just said a good point. Is like definitely identify who like your top 5 people are or top 10, whatever, however big your audience is, but maybe top 5 is good because you sending 1,000 emails to 1,000 people is like, oh god. But yeah, like ask your top 5 people like what is their, like, favorite thing to buy? Like, whatever like, any sort of those type of questions and, like, get feedback from them. Because I actually did that with my powder mixes too in the beginning, I totally forgot about this. But I reached out to my top 5 backers from my Trope Tales campaign, and I was like, "Hey, I'm thinking about doing this. Like, does this even sound like something you'd be interested in?" And they were all like, "Oh my god, yeah, like, this sounds awesome." Like, I sent them, like, prototype pictures. I sent them the initial formulation. I was like, "How does this look? Is this something that you would feel comfortable buying and consuming?" Like, really lean on those top 5 people because they are there to support you. And the more, like, insight you give them into, like, what you're doing, the more they're going to be bought into it. And just, like, fostering those relationships and catering to them because those top 5 people pretty much, like I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but they would represent the majority of your audience too. So, if it's something
yeah.
that they want, it's probably something that your other audience members want and will appreciate too.
Yeah. Well, it's definitely the people who have the highest lifetime value and lowest customer cost. So if you
Yeah.
can find the people, what the
Mhm.
people want that will buy the quickest and spend the most, then like you have a
Mhm.
business. Like
Yeah.
that's all business. Like that's a business thing. You take a product, you find a customer who you can sell a lot
Yeah.
to and cost not that much to apply,
Yep.
and you make them buy consistently, and
Yep.
you have a business.
Yeah. Well, and
Um,
another thing that you can do to test like product ideas too before going full in, and this is what I also did, is you can like create oh my hair's being funny. You can create what I call a like ghost listing of the product on like your website or a card site. Card for anyone who doesn't know is like a super simple to use free website builder. It's CARRD. I use it all the time for product validation because I'm also thinking into the future now. But anyway, you can create like a ghost listing for a product. Like I put my mock-ups on my website on a ghost listing, which means that it's like not findable unless you like click on the link that I'm using to direct you to it. So I actually ran ads to and it was like a $5 a day ad budget. I ran ads to this like ghost listing for like 2 weeks and then like once I got a certain amount of sales on this like ghost listing for a product that doesn't even exist, I was like, "Okay, well, this is validated. Like people want this. Like I'm going to go full in on this now because now I have like random people who are finding my ads on like Facebook for this product that doesn't even exist and they are paying over $100 for it. Like, okay, yeah, this is probably something I should, invest all in on." And then obviously like I reached out to all the people who bought it and was like, "Hey, this doesn't actually exist, but it's going to exist soon. I can either refund you, or if you wanna wait for it to be ready, like, I will send it to you with some, like, bonus swag because like, you bought something that doesn't actually exist and I kind of conned you. But, you know, just be communicative with people about that, obviously. But that's another, like, great way to test an idea before you go all in on it, because why would you ever go all in on something without, like, figuring out if there's any interest for it to begin with?
Right. Yeah. You could also set up a similar page and then say, hey, if I get 10 sales from my list, I'm going to do so. Like
Yeah.
I'll buy, otherwise I'll refund. Like I do that
Yep.
all the time. You can make a
Yep.
PayPal buy link and do that. You could have someone reserve for $1, and
Mhm.
then like later they're going to be charged the rest of the amount. Like there's all sort of ways to do this without like even doing Facebook ads. It
Mhm.
is easier with an audience though.
Yeah.
um, I want to talk about your Kickstarter though, because you have a Kickstarter that's ending this week for this
Yes.
exact product. So,
I do.
like, let's do it. Tell me about it.
Yeah, so I am running a Kickstarter right now for my instant powder drink mix line. It's done on Friday at midnight. So if you're interested in getting early access to the powders and getting some fun bonus swag and being a part of this experience with me, I'm running it until Friday at midnight. And yeah, I'm launching with 3 initial flavors, which are fantasy, romance, and horror. More to come. They're all based on genres. The horror flavor is cherry orange, romance is strawberry lavender, and fantasy is coconut mango. I have reasons why the flavors are all of them. Fantasy, I mean, I can go into that, but whatever. It's like all over the place. But yeah, I'm running a Kickstarter until Friday, and it's super exciting. We are completely funded, and we are about $200 away from our second stretch goal. So, yay.
Well, now I'm trying to find the link, guys. Trying
Amazing.
to find the link for you.
Yeah, I emailed it to you. Um, but yeah, Russell will drop the link in here, and y'all can check her out. Some pretty fun stuff on there. But yeah, it's a
Well,
really fun.
I'm just gonna show the actual page. So
Oh
that
yeah,
I
yeah,
can like see this is the page.
yeah. Oh,
It says Trope Tales, genre inspired instant drink mixes.
yep.
Would be so much easier if I could do this not on my phone, but like you can
No,
see,
I was
this
so
is the so
they're
how many
super
drinks
cute.
does this make?
Yeah, so each bag is 10 ounces, which holds about 35 servings, and that means
Not
35 different drinks.
right. You can mix and match these, I assume.
Yeah, I mean, I have had people who were like, "I wanna mix the romance one with the horror one," and I was like, "Go for it," like, that's the best part about mixology and everything, is that you can kind of do whatever you want. Like, if you buy all 3 bags and you wanna mix them all together and see what happens, like, let me know how it tastes.
Oh, this is the link. It's kickstarter.com slash. I'm not going to go through all this stuff, but like it's easier to just go to kickstarter.com and type Trope Tales. There's
Yeah, if
only
you type
one live one.
yeah, I can just put the how to spell it in. Well, my phone's not working.
Okay.
Oh, there we
So you
go.
see, the nice thing about books is you can make books too. So you
Yeah.
can make so you could do a sample set, like single use ones.
Yeah, the sample sets are interesting because 'cause I'm actually pouring those myself, because I don't have sample sizes being manufactured, just because the cost was going to be a little
Sure.
bit too high for what like,
Hmm.
it was gonna be about, like, $5 to manufacture the sample size bags, and, like, at that point, I didn't feel comfortable selling them for over $5 a bag, so I figured, if people wanted sample sizes, I'll just hand pour them, although I did have someone reach out to me about getting 1,000 sample size bags, and I was like, "Oh, okay." I said yes, because you always say yes, and then you figure it out later,
Right.
but yeah, we'll see if that ends up going through. If I have to pour 1,000 sample size bags, that will be
I mean, at
really.
some point, maybe it makes sense to get the sample size bags from them.
Yeah. Yeah, I think, like,
Um,
the quantities on that were, it didn't make sense in the beginning, but that will be, like, a growing pain moment for me down the line when when I become a multimillionaire selling all these bags, then I can be
right.
like, now it's probably about time to invest in getting some, like, sample sizes going. But for now, in bulk, like buying them in the bags felt like the best option to kind of like start that out with, just because.
But for people that are like, okay, I don't know what value I have for a subscription, this is very easy. You get 35 drinks. 35, that's $1 a drink. Like
Yep.
that and like maybe you don't know like whether your book has value, but like you know how much value a drink has.
Yep.
Like
Yeah.
you know how much value like things have value. Like so like if you don't think your book has value or your Substack has value or like whatever the thing is has value and I can't convince you that you're wrong. Um, well, like a this water has value because I paid an amount of money for it. Like people already pay money for things and that you can sell them to and on a subscription basis. Like
Yeah.
I will always get like if there's Topo Chico, I'm gonna buy Topo Chico because I love Topo Chico. Like that's my favorite water brand. So like
Hmm.
I may only buy one of these, but I'm still there are things that are sellable that you could just say, well, I don't trust my own thing.
Hmm.
But this manufacturer makes Revlon cosmetics. And I know that the Revlon cosmetics have value because I'm doing the thing.
Right.
They're paying for them. So, like, if I just use the same manufacturer and make the same product with my own formulation, then it has to be worth the thing because like
Mhm.
that is it's there people already paying for that thing.
Yeah, well, and
Oh,
you're giving people added value too because it's tied to the book brand that they already like know and love. So it's like,
right,
oh my gosh, I love Russell's books and he now has a lipstick that I can wear when I'm reading them. Like, of course I'm gonna go buy it. Or like, like that kind of stuff. Like people eat that up. Like when they can actually like live the brand in person. Like now not only are people having this like Trope Tales book, but they're also having, something that they can actually like experience like physically with it. Like that's really cool for like a reader to experience. And not a lot of authors are creating experiences right now that like readers can actually like participate in. Like, like I think that's like a new space that's going to be really cool in the next few years is like seeing authors grow into like experience-based products, like something that you can actually, because you're reading a book, sure, you're experiencing it, but you're just flipping pages. But can you like find a way to make it so like your reader can eat the book? Can they drink it? Can they like, wear it on their face? Like, like makeup, food, drinks, like that kind of stuff. Like, can they experience it in other ways?
right. And
That's
can it exist out even if someone doesn't know? Because like what I love about this is like you don't have to know anything about the Trope Tales book. It's just
no,
like it's tropes, it's cocktails, it's silly.
yeah,
Any reader, anyone who cares about it would like even if they don't know your book brand could
that,
and like generally it's like the same thing with a movie. And then we're gonna wrap up. Like
yeah,
a movie doesn't exist in the movie. Like it doesn't make most of its money on the movie. It
yeah,
makes most of its money on like Wicked
right.
is going to make way more money on the pink and green lipstick that it has
Oh, they
than
have
it's going
vodka
to on
collab.
the movie.
They have a vodka collab as well with Svedka. They didn't even change the vodka, they just changed the packaging, and it's crazy to
Right.
me. Wow.
Yes.
That's
So
that's an
um
app.
if you happen to work at Star Wars, I'm gonna give you my pitch. Qui-Gon Jinn.
Yeah, honest to God, it's so smart. It's so smart. There's so much you can do.
Okay, so
Or like a road
like, is there a place
reader.
that someone can buy it if they're watching this after like after the Kickstarter is done, or where should
Oh,
they
yeah.
go after the Kickstarter?
So, it will be available for then pre-order on my website, tropetales.com, after the Kickstarter is done. Kickstarter people are getting first access to everything. Retailers will probably get second access, and then it will go on to consumers. So if you want the product before anyone else, the Kickstarter is live now, but it will be live again on my website after the campaign for pre-order at tropetails.com, like tropes and then cocktails, trope tales. So yeah.
Such a great brand. Okay, Maggie,
Thank
any final words before we let you go?
Yeah, thank you guys. I mean, just think big. Nothing is impossible. We live in a time where literally every single door is open or can be opened with a knock. You should 100% take advantage of it and never think anything is too big to, you know, pursue, because you can literally do anything. I did this within a year. Like, this is something that you and I could have released this, like, way sooner. I had this ready in, like, June. So, like, 4 months of production and producing this thing. It's like you can do literally anything. Like, if your mind has an idea, you can find a manufacturer to do it without, like, really much legwork, just searching online or going to Alibaba. Alibaba's a great resource, by the way, which I didn't bring up before, but it's just basically a manufacturer marketplace. So post a listing on Alibaba, be like, this is what I want to do. You're going to have like 1,000 manufacturers reach out to you. Be prepared to be overwhelmed. But yeah, the doors are open. So just think big and don't let anyone tell you that you can't do it, because you
I'm
definitely can.
amazing. I love it. I'm not going to find manufacturers. I already have a Maggie. But for you, if you don't have a Maggie, great advice. All
Yes.
right. All right. Bye, everyone.
Bye.